I don't know where to look. I don't know where to look. It is New Year's Day, and it is 5:11 in the morning. And I am awake because, well, in part just because I am. Oh, there's a light on this thing. I wonder how it works. Okay, so I had to, for the first time in a few years, I actually stayed up till midnight. Shut up. Because I had to pick up my daughter from her New Year's party. I don't know where my coffee cup is. That's going to be a problem for getting this morning started. The reason I'm up so early is because I have so many videos from the live streams that I haven't edited that, well, I mean, it's like 5 or 6. It's not a huge amount, but they're 3 or 4 hours long. So I have to, it takes a while to edit each one. The reason that I just don't grab the video from Twitch and put it on YouTube is that if I did that, it would have the music that plays in the background. And YouTube is crazy strict about the copyright, the IP for the music. So when that stuff would last about 30 seconds on YouTube. Actually, no, it wouldn't even render all the way. It would get up and it would start to process, and the content ID would pick it up. So what I do is when I stream, I make a separate recording of the stream, and each separate audio source is a separate track. And the audio track that has the music on it doesn't record for the YouTube version. So the YouTube version has only the audio from the microphone and the audio from the game. So I'll show you like how I put all that together here now. Okay, so here is where the videos are captured that are recorded from OBS. So this is actually on a folder that is shared between my gaming PC and my recording / streaming PC, because I edit on the gaming PC because it has a better processor. So it's easier, it's faster. And so the two computers share that drive that the recording comes to. And so when the stream is over, what I will do is I will move that to the editing bay on the editing PC, which is the gaming PC. All right, so once we have the video transferred over, then for our next trick we open Audacity because we have to split the audio tracks out. So as I dump this in here, you're going to see that it actually shows 3 audio tracks. This is the audio for the microphone. I don't extract that because that will get that is the track that the editing software will pull. The second track is the gameplay sounds, and that's the track I need to pull. So that is going to pull out. I'm not sure exactly like how all this is going to work, and hopefully you'll stick with me, and over time this stuff will get better as I get used to sort of talking all the time about like what I'm doing, which is, I guess, going to be weird. Also, it's 5:30 now. It's 5:30 now, and I went to bed at 1. But part of me is a little anxious because this is January 1st. First of all, happy 2020, but you're going to see this later. This is the day when the documentary channel goes live for real. I mean, it's been there forever, I guess, but I haven't done anything with it until I had something to do with it. And this is what I'm choosing to do with it, I guess. So at 7 a.m. Eastern, the video will drop, and I guess we're going to spend today sort of seeing how that video tracks, although that's not going to be super fair because that video is really just an introductory video. It's like 8 minutes long. It's also going to be interesting keeping track of like the 2 different video sources because I'm recording this audio on my camera. I am also recording my screen using OBS. It's going to be 2 different audio sources or 2 different video sources sharing the same audio that I'm going to switch back and forth from without any real cues as to lining them up. Crap. And I keep looking at my face, and when I look at my face, that's not the camera. Even though the eyes are the windows to the soul, you are the camera right there. So I need to look at that. And then I'm looking you in the eye. Even though I want to look myself in the eye, but then I'm looking to your not eye. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much traction that video gets. The Let's Play episode will release at 9 instead of the normal 7. I gotta figure out the release schedule for videos. Because if you don't release regularly, it'll hurt you with the YouTube algorithm. So even people who want to hear about your videos will not necessarily hear about them because you're not being consistent, and so the algorithm doesn't push you as much. So if you're releasing at a consistent time, it's better. I have to figure out a release schedule for these. It's probably, since the Let's Plays have always been 7 a.m., maybe these will go at noon? I don't know. I don't think there's any real good data on when the best time to release videos is, based on like when people go to the conventional wisdom used to be like 3 p.m. Eastern or 4 p.m. Eastern because that was about when kids were getting home on the East Coast. But I don't think that's the case anymore. Well, I mean, that's still when they get out of school, but I don't think that's the belief anymore. But like 3 to 6, that was the golden area. You wanted to get it before dinner on the East Coast if you could, but you wanted to get the kids on the West Coast. I guess to heck with the rest of the world. I don't know, but I've always had. It's always been good for me to release at 7 a.m. So it was more Europe friendly, and people in the States were getting it like in the morning. So if they needed something to watch while they were doing their morning routine or whatever, they could have that. So maybe I'll release from this channel like in the afternoons. Do kids want to come home from school and watch a documentary about a YouTuber slash live streamer? Only if they've been bad. Yeah, only if they've been bad. Okay, so once we have the game sounds separated, we need to export them as a WAV file, and that is what happens next. So it's going to have the same file name as the main video, but it'll be a WAV file, and then that will go into the same folder right here. So we'll have the two of them paired up. Okay, so now that we have both the files in place, we are done with Audacity. So we can't. Oh no, I don't want to save. All right. So now we can. We open up the Power Director, which is the program I use. Let's see here, and we are doing a VOD. All right, so and let's get rid of everything. And so now we have the opening bit, the end credits, guess I'm being followed. So obviously, for purposes of whatever, we need to start with the oldest stuff first. So this is the 1221 stream. So we'll drop those in. And so we will put the audio here, or the video there, and the game track there. And we'll drop the opening here. Insert and move all clips. Neat. All right. Here, I'll move this so you can see. Put this back. All right. So you can see the preview window. I usually have it on a separate monitor, so I've got more room to work. And this usually starts right away. It started right away. Okay. Okay, so I think what we'll do is just cut okay, we're not going to cut anything off of it. So then we just need to transition off of the intro. So I usually just fade it in. So this is the fade for the video, and then the audio gradually comes up. You can also put it like in between, and it'll like drop one down and then do the other one up. So then it kind of okay. So for our next trick, now that that is done, really editing the live streams is not that hard. We need to find the point where we cut from the talk screen to the game screen, because at that point the the copyright free, I'm looking at the wrong camera, the copyright free music cuts out and then it's silent. So that's when I actually drop in another copy of the copyright free music. So it sort of is like an episode. It has that sort of acoustic stuff that plays through. So let's see where that. Okay, so that's where the jump is. Did you hear it jump? Did you hear it? Okay, so that's where we need to drop in the music. All right, and so we just need to keep repeating the music all the way to the end of the stream. Okay, here's the other end we got to clean up. See, I tried to remember to say something after I stopped streaming for the rebroadcast. I think it drives people crazy when I rate them because I don't talk to them for like a minute because I'm wrapping up the recording. I can't help it. I gotta, I gotta do me. I gotta do me. All right. Okay. So that's a clean end right there. That's a clean end right there. All right. So I need to go through and I gotta update. It's January 1st, so I gotta update the Patreon credits for the new month. Where's my to-do list? This is, if you want to be an internet superstar and live large like Ray Charles, you need a freaking to-do list. I just want to make sure there's nothing like here, like erase porn or whatever. See, look at this. I'm already behind. I did stream last night. I still have to figure out that card stuff. I guess I'm doing that today. I did not get 3 VODs uploaded last night because I spent time with Mrs. Designer. So we're just gonna call that get VODs uploaded. And it's going to be today. And did I record? I didn't record a Thursday video. Okay. All right. So that's what I have to get done today. Also, our bed's broken. I have to fix our bed. And I have to reconfigure all my merch. All right. So where were we? So we dropped our end credits in, which may be stale, but I don't think they're too stale. I think maybe one person dropped off, which is bad. All right, so this is done. End credits are at the end. Intros at the front. We have transitions on either side. Now we just render it. And the VODs I do at 720p. I don't do those at 1080. Because otherwise that would be crazy. All right, and this is, what is it? This is 12, 21, 19. Okay. All right, it's still at 60 frames per second, but it's 1280 by 720. Because otherwise, this would take forever. I mean, already, even as it is, it's going to take an hour and 20 minutes to render. And I have to get through, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more of these? Yeah. Oh. Good morning. It is January 2nd now, Thursday. It's 8:39 in the morning, and I'm on my way to work. I'm rolling in a little later today. I'm usually in by 7:30, but with the fact that I don't have to take Pixel to school in the morning anymore, it gives me some flexibility about when I can leave. And then trying to fit in not only my morning, Bible study prayer time, but also getting to the gym to work out in the morning and doing stuff. I got to try to figure out what my I still like getting into the office early. So maybe I'll just try to leave it at that. Maybe just roll in at 7:30 instead of 7, give myself an extra half hour. But this morning I'm going in later because it's still that New Year's week, and a lot of people took the whole week off because you could get 5 days for the price of 3, because we were off New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So you were able to take the whole week off for the cost of 3 days. So a lot of people aren't in today, so I'm not as pressed to get in super early, because I like to get in super early because there's nobody around and I can get stuff did. But there's not going to be anybody around all day, so there was no rush. Not to mention the fact that this was the first day that I did that I actually got to the gym. Backing up even further, I was supposed to record 2 episodes for the Let's Play channel last night. I was supposed to record today's and then Friday's. But after I made dinner and after all the stuff I did yesterday, getting all of those past live streams edited and doing the bookkeeping for the end of the year for, I don't know what to call what I'm doing, should MD Studio? Because it's more than just Twitch, right? It's more than just Twitch. It's more than just YouTube. It's sort of, internet entertainment sounds like something you put in a tax form, which isn't one of the options on the tax form, by the way. So MD Studio is the LLC that I formed for what I do. So maybe I just, whenever I'm referring to what I do, maybe that's what I call it. I don't know. When you are doing this as a business, you have got to keep things separate, right? Keep things separate and make your business pay for the stuff that you're buying for the business. What happened this past year is my finances were commingled. My personal finances and MD Studio finances were commingled, right? Because I didn't have an LLC. I didn't have a separate bank account. I didn't have a separate PayPal. And as a result of that, everything was sort of coming in and going out through that larger tank that is the family income, right? So quickly lost track of how much I was spending. And now, with the hard look in the mirror time of spending whatever that amount was for games, spending nearly $2,000 on, I think it's 17 something, but that was just airplane and hotel. That wasn't, that's not the taxi in and out. That's nothing. That's airplane and hotel alone. If you are not purposeful in that,
you are going to way overspend. Make this thing pay for the stuff that is driving it. And true, starting out, right? There are certain things you must have. Like, you must have a decent camera. You must have a decent microphone. You must have a decent computer. Those are like, you got to have that. So if you're just starting out, there is no business money. But keep track of it. Write it down. Put it in a spreadsheet. Please put it in a spreadsheet so that you keep track of it. Until you get to the point where you're bringing in the money, make sure you know what you're spending. Because otherwise you'll start bringing in, like, say you get your affiliate and you're bringing in, I guess they don't pay out under 100, but whatever. Say you're getting 100 every 4 months. Wow, I got $100. Yeah, but you spent 300 to get there. So you didn't make $100. You are negative 200. So just when you start out, just be aware of that, because that's a lesson I'm learning sort of backwards from the hindsight of looking at the numbers at the end of a full year. And I probably learned this exact same lesson at the end of 2018 and just forgot. Because it's not like I was doing this before in 2018 and then I said, oh, I got an idea, let's all mix it all together. But yeah, so hopefully now I have the mechanisms in place, right? And that was the big hassle, right? Forming an LLC is not that hard. You can do it probably on your own, online, and if not in your state, I'm sure the Secretary of State has a how-to PDF that you can download off their website that walks you through it. Get a separate bank account and just keep track of it. Not necessary day one, but once you start getting to that point where you're super serial, then I think you got to do it. I think you got to just keep it separate. That's your job. That's your business. So yeah. So I did that yesterday. Anyway, I worked yesterday from 5 a.m. until like I made dinner and we had dinner, and then it was like 7 p.m. I just hit a wall. I hit a wall and I couldn't do anything else. And so all of that backstory was I had to get up super early, like 4, so that I could record, so that there'd be an episode that would go out today. But that, I can't do that anymore. I can't do the like record and release same morning thing anymore. Because first of all, it's just not as good an episode. It lends itself to the sort of, okay, click record, play for 25 minutes, stop the recording, and then upload it, right? There's no thought that goes into it beforehand. There's no decent editing that goes into it afterward. And face it, on YouTube, Let's Plays are dying on YouTube as it is, but that straight sort of take a session of gameplay and just throw it on the channel raw. That stuff was dead. That stuff was dead in 2015. You've got to look at somebody like 8-Bit Ryan, or I don't know, like the big guys, the super big guys. I don't understand why they're still, like the Markipliers and the Jack Spadices. Their content feels kind of lazy, so they're not the best example. But look for folks with more effort going into the editing side, and those are the ones that are still kind of surviving. My main channel's gonna die it will die if I don't pivot somehow. Because right now, the views I'm getting are only by and large, well, I won't say only, but a majority of those numbers are coming from people who watch me on Twitch. I have like 5,000 something subscribers, and my videos get like 100, 200 views. If I don't pivot and provide something different, that channel's gonna die. It really is. And anyway, I'm gonna stop talking here because I've run out of things to say. It's 7:30 on Sunday morning, and this is, I think, I don't know, my second or third entry into the documentary. I'm really still trying to get a feel for like how to really incorporate this into my day, so that I'm actually documenting stuff. And then obviously it's a struggle for me just in terms of like how much to share, how like self-disclosing and whatever I want to be. Because, you know, what if it turns out that like, okay, here I am, complete open book, and it turns out that like that person isn't super likable, right? You know, that's the risk we all face when we self-disclose. But that's part of, I guess, this journey, or at least documenting it for you. The last clip, I'm going to try to edit it some so it doesn't sound so like terrible, but I had just done my taxes. So obviously, like literally the night before, I had just done my taxes, and I was like, I had on my mind like the money side of things. And then right after that, there was like a really heated discussion among myself and the channel admins about like the focus of what I'm doing and like how things used to be, and how it used to be like community driven and not business driven. And that was kind of frustrating for me because I thought I had been community driven, and you know, I don't want to say that I had flipped the bit and made it only about like numbers and views and all that stuff, but I think that as I grew from those beginnings, like where there was just like 12, 15, 20 of us just hanging out and playing games, it just became a lot more to manage, and I sort of drifted away from like the core of what we were doing that made it fun. So it was tough. And yeah, that happened like Thursday. And I mean, I absolutely did not want to stream Thursday night. I felt nauseous. I just didn't want to stream. But I streamed, and it was awful. If you watch the VOD on the replay channel, I mean, you might not be able to tell, or maybe you can. But it was I just wanted to be done and get off. So I think that I'm back to, I've come off of that. The problem is that when you do something like this, if you get punched in the gut right before you go on air, you have to decide, do you go on air or do you not? And I went on air because I feel like that's what you do, the sort of the whole the show must go on thing. But I didn't want to. But I think that we're reaching some solutions during the stream last night, which was actually a really good stream, I thought. We came up with some really good ideas about how to set up servers so that I could be on them and creating content, and other people could hop on and hop off. So for 7 days, we would do a server that's 24 hours long, that has a literal 24-hour day. No hordes. They don't run at night. It's all about just surviving and building. So that's a server. The problem with running a server for a big community is that for 7 days is that the 7-day cycle matters. It's not like Minecraft where one day's just like the other, and it doesn't matter when you get on or when you get off, right? The world doesn't advance. There's not stages to things. So by making the 7-day server as much like Minecraft as we possibly can, that is a way to handle it. And so that's, I think, what we're going to try to do. I haven't really talked to the admin team yet, because I think some of them are still pissed at me. So I guess I have to, I have a Twitter. I guess I have to figure that out. Yeah, but balancing the relational side of trying to do this with the number side and the schedule side and the sort of business side of it is hard, because you form genuine friendships with people who've been around for a long time, and then as things grow, things necessarily change, and then they become unfamiliar, and then people are like, why isn't it the way it was? So trying to find a way to genuinely keep it the feel for how we started, and sort of scale that. That's going to be one of the big challenges of the year. I don't know if we can do it, but I guess we're going to find out. Anyway, I don't know if this is a vlog. I don't know if I'm going to do these weekly or what. I've discovered that I don't get good audio out of my recording off my phone, so I'm going to try to limit that. But if I'm documenting, I can't all literally be sitting here at the computer, right? That's not my life, even though it seems like it's a lot of it. Even though it seems like it's a lot of it. So I don't know. Over the coming weeks, we'll have to see how this plays out and stuff, and I'll continue to tweak the formula. But I would just ask that you keep coming back, and that if you keep coming back, if you promise to keep coming back, I'm going to promise to keep trying to make it better and not just kind of give up and let it die. So anyway, I guess that's our first episode in the documentary. with the whole fight or discussion, it's hard to know like how much to include with like in terms of like numbers and channel growth and stuff, but I think it's all part of it. It just depends on what we're considering an important metric. But even calling it metric is sort of turning it in, I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out in the next documentary episode. I hope you liked the video. I hope you share it with your friends, folks that are interested in Twitch and YouTube creation, and I'll see you next time.